Hey guys, as most of you know, I live in LA and I've been dealing with the wildfires for the past 48 hours, and just last night I was able to jump on the very last flight out of LAX going to New York before everything kind of erupted today. I literally don't even know how it was humanly possible that I was able to get on that flight physically, and also just the angels above making it happen. So I figured now that I'm safe and with my family and watching it from afar, I would share my story about the past 48 hours. It all started basically on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. I was literally clicking login to a Zoom private I was doing from my living room home. I obviously live alone in LA. My family is in New Jersey. So I logged on, I said hi to the munchkin I was teaching, and within 10 minutes, my phone was vibrating on the counter, which means that someone was hitting do not disturb and going through all of my notifications I have silenced to try to reach me. Obviously, I was so alarmed to see that one of my really good friends that lives right above me was trying to call me, not even FaceTime, like normal call, which is already a red flag in itself. I unlocked my phone from do not disturb to see all of the missed text messages and a million phone calls that I had missed, letting me know that there was an active fire literally right above me in my building. To this moment, I really have no idea what happened or what the fire was. But the second that I left my apartment, I smelled the smoke. I was running down the stairs. There was firefighters running up the stairs telling me to go out as quickly as I can. I was literally so lost. I had no idea what was going on. I was actually petrified. And when I walked outside, I was obviously in dance gear, so I was not bundled up, and came to find out that the winds were 100 miles an hour, and I was absolutely freezing, seeing everyone in my building standing on the street with stretchers and a bunch of firefighters and water spewing out of the 5th floor of my building. Winds just kept getting worse all day to the point where I was losing power and Wi-Fi, and it was just a shit show, to be honest. My friends and I decided to go to dance 5 minutes down the road. We all carpooled. Luckily, we had a mom drive us because none of us wanted to drive in the wind, and we got in the car and literally pulled out onto the street, and the car was shaking. I felt like it was going to be lifted into the air, and immediately we were all fuck. We went to class, we finished class, we then came home, and the winds were 38 times worse, to the point where I was going from A to B, which was the car, and then into my apartment building front door, and I was terrified for my life, just walking because of how windy it was. So we all went to bed kind of in a panic, and all woke up pretty early. Within literally 10 minutes of me opening my eyes, I was on the phone with my parents and reading all of the text messages from my friends that are in the city, less on the outskirts, definitely more in the city, and they were so terrified. I remember opening the Watch Duty app that I had downloaded from the night before to keep track of the Pasadena fire, but then I had opened it that morning, and then I was like, oh my god, there's 3 other fires that started, and now they're the 2 Pasadena and the Palisades fire, which 2 of my best friends live there, and houses were getting destroyed. That was terrifying. But I opened my app within those 10 minutes of waking up to learn that there was more fires. And when the one in Woodley, I think, broke out, which was closer to the city, I heard fire trucks and ambulances rushing down close to where I could hear them in my apartment, and I got up and I literally got up, got ready, started packing a suitcase, and started calling all my friends in the building to see and make sure that everyone had gas and that we could all go get water together. None of the fires were close to me at this time, though. It's 9 a.m. I went with my friend. We always stuck together throughout the day. We went and got gas. I got a bunch of waters and snacks to put in my car in case the 2 of us had to leave together. From my windows and from my friends' windows of the apartment, it looked like a normal day, but the second that we were driving to go get gas or anything, it was black everywhere. And the second we entered Burbank, it was insane winds to the point where there was doors of businesses flying open. The second that I got home, I made sure every single friend in the building was packing a bag, literally just in case, because I was so nervous, and a lot of them were going to end up coming with me. If I left, I was going to drive people, so I was like, you got to be ready unless we got a dip. But I really just spent majority of the day from 11 a.m. after I was done gathering all my belongings in my apartment and taking videos of my apartment in case I went up in flames for insurance and things like that. I just waited it out. I sat on my couch and scrolled on TikTok because every single video was a new update. The update on the Watch Duty app was every 2 seconds with a new fire or something else with an update on evacuations. And keep in mind, at this time, there's really no fires near us. This was way before the Hollywood fires started or the Studio City one or anything like that. Around 4:15, I ended up hanging up the phone with my mom, and I took a nap from 4 to 6, obviously all ringers on if I needed to be up. I ended up getting woken up to a call from someone I obviously didn't expect. I thought it was my family. It was my friend who lives upstairs who had gotten me out of the building the day prior, freaking out because the fire in Hollywood broke out. He was sending me pictures, making sure I was alert of it. Such a G. We love him. Obviously, at this moment, I'm freaking the fuck out because none of them were literally in the city, this big at least. There was literally nothing we could have done though other than wait it out because there was still no evacuation needed, to be honest, and the air quality wasn't crazy bad near us, but it was just really scary, obviously, given that these fires were jumping football fields in minutes, and so I just didn't know whether to leave and honestly where to go because there was also fires in Simi at the time, and they could have broken out anywhere, given they are at the moment. So this is kind of what I was fighting the battle, where do I go, what do I do really? The safest thing to do at the time was stay put, so I did that. Let's fast forward now to about 9 o'clock. I am sitting on my couch. I decide to turn on the news on my TV, and within 2 seconds of it being on, they announce that there is a Studio City fire, and I see the 4-story home engulf in flames and collapse and then set something else on fire that was next to it. That's when I was like, I have to get the fuck out of here. Immediately called my girlfriend that lives around the corner from me in the building, and I was like, you need to get your ass home right now. We have to either fly to Vegas, or we have to leave, or we have to figure out something to do because we cannot stay. I'm terrified that it was within 9 minutes of us. Still no evacuation. But I was like, it's 10 minutes away. This is so easily coming towards us. There were 0 flights from LAX to Vegas or Burbank to Vegas. Had no option there. So I immediately was like, we're either leaving or I'm getting on a flight and going home to Jersey right now. Obviously, my parents are on the phone with me literally most of the day, and so they knew everything that was going on. They were looking for flights for me and my friend to try to get to Vegas, but when I told them, give it up, I gotta go home to Jersey. I don't think you guys understand how lucky I was to have had the person working the phone on United getting me from flight to flight, switching all the things to try to get me on the 11:30 p.m. flight out to go to Newark. The chances of me getting on that flight were 2%, and the fact that I was able to do it is actually a miracle. I was told to get my ass in an Uber at 10:35, so I did. I was at the airport by 11:08. I was able, by I don't know how, to check my bag and get it on that 11:30 flight that ended up getting delayed until 11:50. That way I was able to get through security, check my bag, and make it home safely this morning. My guardian angels were looking out for me, and so I just want to say that was so fucking stressful, and I hope that everyone is okay right now with everything that's still going on, and I just wanted to share what I kind of went through the past 48 hours, because it was crazy.